Ever wonder what it's like to live in a cozy New England cottage? Join us as we transform our simple ranch home into a comfy cottage. Each week, we work towards improving, maintaining, and beautifying our home and garden, all on a tight budget.
Hey there!
Wow, it's fall now.
It's definitely autumn now. We just recently had our first frost a couple of days ago.
Yes.
So that was eye-opening. That kind of wakes you up to the season. So
thankfully, this guy was on it, and we covered what we needed to cover. We brought some things in. We harvested. Oh boy, were we busy.
Yes.
A little bit smaller of a video this week because we had to do tons of harvesting. We weren't expecting frost for at least another week, although this is normal for New England. The way it's been going for the summer, and I'll say even 2 days before that, it was hot.
It was 80 degrees.
It was. So that's New England. And we thought we had time. We did not. We had a warning like a couple days before, and we thought, oh boy. So we have a smaller video this week, but I think it's pretty great.
Yeah, pretty great.
So some of the things, what we already did before any of that started, we put out some of these little pumpkins that Paul had picked up at Walmart. It came in a bag for a few dollars, these little white mini pumpkins. We already did that. I dressed up our little faux window on the side of the shed. And then when we harvested, there were some empty garden beds. I was trying to think of the name of it, but garden beds, and they were emptied. Well, I'm not going to do all of them, but when we look out our window, I thought I miss all the greenery, and I thought I really want to have something there. So we had looked into bales, like hay bales.
Right.
Well, we finally realized what hay is. It's a little more on the green side with seeds and all kinds of things. And then the straw bale is more of the dried out, what I'm used to seeing. So when we called around, a couple things. They're very expensive, but also they couldn't guarantee there wasn't wheat in it. That's an issue for me. I have celiac disease, so I can't be around wheat, even outside, because then it'll go into our garden beds where we grow things. I'm not sure.
We wouldn't want to take the chance. So.
We wouldn't want to take the chance. So because of that, I'm kind of sad because sometimes, not that I'm really into that as much, but it really does help to even break that down and put in your garden beds. Maybe even over, our neighbor informed us, even over your grass seed when you're planting seed.
Grass,
That's going to be an issue for me. So what we do have are some ornamental grasses. So we're going to break that down and try with the pumpkins, try to
make a little decorative something or other. Spruce up their garden beds.
Exactly. And we were really hoping to go pumpkin picking, but I don't know if we'll have time, at least before this video. So, and there's only certain hours, mostly on the weekends, so I don't think we'll have this mad rush before the video. So I think what we're going to do is just go out and buy. We've seen some at Walmart and Aldi's, and we might just buy some.
Honestly, I have a pretty good price. I love to support local farms, of course we do, but it's just price-wise. We need to keep the budget low, so so we may swing by Walmart or Aldi's.
Yeah, and we do save the seeds.
Yes,
so
absolutely,
we're gonna,
to grow them next year ourselves, hopefully. We're
going to try to do that because this year we've had some luck with pumpkins in our garden. So some of the smaller pumpkins and gourds and squashes that didn't quite make it to fruition, like the butternut squash and all that. So we're excited because now they're decor, and we're going to save those seeds come the end of the season. So they're decorating for now, and hopefully we'll grow some more next year. So we're very excited. This is the first time we attempted it.
We actually grew pumpkins that we can decorate with. Yeah, that's nice.
And even those squashes that didn't quite make it, I'm really thrilled that they're going to be decor and next year.
Right.
So, and I just whacked my chin. That's a problem when you're Italian and you talk with your hands. What we're doing now is we're starting a more healthy plan. So we're still doing the wonderful things of the season, like cooking and baking and enjoying the season. This is what I love about the season, the kind of warm, more fall spices, comfort. That's great. But we're going on a healthier journey this year. So because of that, we're doing less of the sugary things, but we've found some really yummy, healthy things. So we're going to still be doing that. But what I love about this season is not only those things, but things like potpourri. Right now I have on the stove, I have and a whole orange cut in half and juiced and zested and stuck in there with cinnamon sticks and some other fall spices and vanilla extract and some peppercorns, and it adds such a lovely aroma around the house.
It smells beautiful, yeah.
It does. You don't need candles or toxic things. That's a lovely thing. Also, what I love about this season, I'm just going to show these amazing, because you know we have trails. If you've been with us for a while, you know we have tons of trails in our backyard. We have these gorgeous leaves. Look at this huge guy. Look at how cool he is.
That's enormous.
And yes, I know they're falling apart and they're getting crispy and stuff, but I think it's the coolest thing. Look at this from our oak trees.
Free decorations, really.
Really?
Right?
And they're so pretty. They're starting to change. Some are still green. So we use these to decorate around. And the thing is, if they get too dried out they go, and we get a new fresh batch, or we change our decor.
Yeah.
But that's a great way to decorate in the fall that's free. You see a lot of really cool videos, a lot of cool advertisements for things you can find at stores. They're all great. And if you have the budget to do that and you really feel like that, go for it. We do it too. We have through the years. But what we love about this season in particular is, and sometimes even in the summer, like with shells on the beach.
Oh, yeah.
What we love about the fall is you can use nature. Acorns, pine cones, leaves, all kinds of things. Certain grasses, certain flowers that dry out, like hydrangeas we dry out, all that stuff are all free decor.
Yeah. And
even changing out a pillow or whatnot. So we're doing that. We're a little bit slower, Paul and I. We're getting older, but also I've come to a point now where I've discovered some things about myself. I have some health issues, and so that kind of delays things. It kind of slows me down a lot. Not that I'm unable to do things, but it makes it hard when you have some medical issues, like, you know, things with your muscles and your bones. It's really hard to do. So because of that, it slows us down. But we've got so many projects that are kind of ready to be done or half done that we have to break it down. And also budget. We're getting into the holiday season where I start shopping early. So I have to kind of take care of my budget a little bit because I need to shop for Christmas. Hello.
It's coming.
So we do have some exciting things, but there will be a lot of free and cheap things. There will be different types of ideas. But this week, what we have...
We're going to work on that doormat, right?
Yes.
The welcome mat. You've got some ideas on how to spruce that up.
Yeah, so we keep buying those coir mats they have, and they're great, and they come up with all these sayings. Also, I just found out with feng shui, you should never have something say welcome on it by your door, because then you welcome all kinds of energies. I'm kind of into that.
Good and bad energy.
Good and bad. So we're not going to do the welcome thing anymore. You can do that if you want. It's just something I'm like, a little superstitious. So we're going to change that up. And instead of buying one they're like $20 and up now. So to me, that's silly. So we have a perfectly good coir mat. It just needs to be, it starts to kind of fade, the design on it.
Yeah.
And it says welcome, and I don't want to do that. So we're going to try a thing that I've done before. I'm going to try to make it a little better this time to hopefully hold up. If anything, it'll hold up until spring. So we'll get a couple seasons out of it. So we are refreshing that. You're right.
What else is there? Oh, you've got a Halloween project.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you have access to woods, or even in your own yard, you have some access to sticks, tree parts that you're ready to trim, and some like twine or jute or whatever you have to twine around. I'm going to make a witch's broom. So a rough, rustic type of broom, but that's going to be really cool, hopefully. But I think it'll be neat for the season.
Yeah.
And we have some fall cleanup. We're going to show that.
There's always that. We like to keep on top of it, do a little at a time so we're not overwhelmed. Now, we don't do a ton of fall cleanup because we like to leave a lot of the leaves and whatnot for the bees and the pollinators. They like to overwinter in that. So we do a bigger cleanup in the springtime. And also when there's leaves on your lawn, if you leave them whole, they can inhibit the growth of the lawn. So you want to chop those up if you're going to leave the leaves on the lawn. If you care about having grass growing, which not everybody does. That's fine. But we're trying to get our lawn resurrected this year, so we're gonna make sure we get the whole leaves off of the lawn.
And we're very excited. It's doing well.
It's coming in really nicely. So yeah.
Yeah. So there is a thing called leaf mold. You do want that in your garden bed, so it's actually really good for that.
Right.
So we are leaving a lot of that, and you will see it actually start to mold a little bit. Apparently, that's very, very good for your garden beds.
When they break down, they get into the soil. It's really great organic matter for your garden beds and for your soil in general.
Yeah, so that's a good thing. So all of this, just know also in the future, if there's if we're talking about, sometimes we sit and sometimes we hear a lot of slack about it from people. If it's not your thing, you can just fast forward. We like to talk sometimes. We don't get to do this every week anymore, so sometimes we like to just sit down and chat with you. It's getting to that time of year where we like to have a little cuppa and talk with you. If you don't like to hear our gibberish, especially me, I love to talk. If that's an issue, just fast forward. But we will have timestamps on this video because there may be things you're not interested in. If you want to skip ahead from the the fall cleanup or whatever, it's not interesting to you. Some people find it relaxing. If it's not exciting to you, you can fast forward it or go on to the next part. That's why there's timestamps. But I will say we are so grateful to have you here. We love chatting with you. Sometimes it feels like you're right there with us and we're having a little cup of tea.
Absolutely.
So thank you for being with us. Thank you for supporting our channel.
Yeah, if you're not already, please hit the subscribe button. It's a free thing and it really helps support us. So we really appreciate all the support and we love that you're along for the ride.
And if you like this kind of video, please give a
thumbs up.
Yes, and tell us you like it because it lets us know what kinds of videos you like. We really appreciate it.
We do.
We hope that you're having a wonderful fall day like we are. We hope you like our video this week, and we'll see you soon. Hi everyone. So we are going to do a little bit more fall decor. It's going to be a little bit of a mishmash of garden stuff today. First things first, I'm going to put some gourds in this window box here. We had taken the morning glories out and we're going to put some gourds in there just to dress it up a little. Just a few white gourds to stick in the contrast with the wood and the greenery and the window frame here. I just think it really adds a little fall touch. We don't need much up here. I think it's just enough. What do you think?
So Gina has an idea to spruce up this old coir mat for the door. I'm going to give it a base coat now, and then she's going to do a final touch-up tomorrow after this dries well. After it dries for a bit, I'll give it a second coat.
So on this old mat, we had a little bit of that nutmeg spray paint, if you remember from a couple weeks ago, we had used. So with that, we couldn't do a total coverage. We only had a little left. So I think I'm going to do a little bit different on some of this. So what I'm going to do now is tape off kind of how I want it. I'm basically going to do like rectangle shapes and like almost like a stripy look to it to kind of match the other one, but a little bit of a difference. I'm not getting seasonal on this because I want this to last for a little bit. I'm hoping it'll make it through the seasons until next spring or summer. So let's get at it. I'm just using masking tape. You can absolutely use painter's tape, which is probably better. I'm not measuring out because I kind of like that it might look a little bit slightly off. I kind of always like that rusticy look. So you can be much more perfect about it if you want to. I'm just not measuring it out. So I'm using an exterior black paint. The one thing I'm happy to report is I thought this said welcome, but it says hello, which is fine, but it was fading. So a lot of it is to take away the fading and to try to freshen it up without having to spend the money on a new one. So if you have these things on hand, it's totally worth it. Otherwise, it might be just best to just buy a new mat, but I have these on hand. I'm putting an exterior black paint. It will need many coats of this, especially because it's being brushed on. When you get close to the edge, make sure you kind of brush out. Use that as your like border, just so it doesn't go under and seep through. Really cake it on the brush the best you can. And again, it is going to need a lot of coats. This could go easier with spray, but I will say I've done it before with spray paint, and sometimes it goes under and it goes around a little on the outside. So you don't want to, this probably is the best bet, but it takes a lot of work. Unless you cover this up, you could probably spray paint it. Also a roller probably would work better. This may seem insane, but I'm actually going to do this. I'm actually going to pour a little. I'm going to see if it'll seep through and help with some of the coverage. You have to allow time to dry. Like I said, brush out when you're near, but also dab to get in there everywhere, but also to the edges. If it moves a little and it's not if it's not totally perfect, that's okay. Sometimes it looks neater that way. And again, you may want a better tape, like a painter's tape or blue tape. Sometimes that just holds better. It's meant for these type of projects. But this is what I had on hand, so I'm using this. Paul and I don't like to waste. We like to reuse and recycle, and it's better for the environment. And it's just kind of fun. Gives you a little crafting time. Sometimes things get so wasteful and so expensive. but sometimes you have to buy new. But in this case, I always try to reuse as best I can before I buy new. So if I look real close, I can see it's slightly wonky in certain areas because of the tape and because it's an unleveled surface. It's kind of a wonky surface. But if it was flat, it probably would be better. However, I kind of like that it's somewhat rustic. When it's like perfect lines, I don't know. It can be really lovely, but I kind of like this. But anyway, I just wanted a simple thing. I really doused on that coat, so I'm going to stick to one coat because I don't want to ruin the lines. But what's going to happen is we have the basic design. I'm going to, and I can still somewhat see that it says hello in there, but I think it's going to be okay. I had contemplated putting little orange pumpkins. A, I only have a craft paint for the orange paint, and I don't know if that would hold up. B, I really want this to last for longer. And C, I just didn't know how it was going to turn out. So because of that, I didn't want to like ruin it. So what I'm going to do is, I like the classic look the more I think about it. So what I'm going to do is leave it like this, and I'm going to give it the day to dry up, and then later in the day, towards this evening, we're in about 1:30 in the afternoon right now, so I'm going to wait until about 5:30, and or if it seems dry before then, it's kind of a nice day out, so it may go a little earlier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to polyurethane everything. You can use a spray sealant, but I want to seal it. I'm going to use, because I only have the brush-on polyurethane, so I'm going to do that and hope that that works, but I want to seal it so it lasts. And I really, through all the weather, I want this to last until next spring and maybe even to the summer before I get a new one. But just a basic design and what you can do when things start to fade, and you know, the thing itself is in great condition, but maybe the design is fading. And like myself, when I heard about the welcome thing, I thought, oh, maybe I want to change that. It said hello anyway, but it was fading. So because of that, we're going to stick with this design. I'm going to wait a little bit, and then I'm going to seal it. And when you seal it, by the way, let it dry for at least 24 hours. We're supposed to get heavy rain, so what I'm going to do is bring it into my shed and let it dry in there for 24 hours. And then when it seems ready, I'm going to put it out on the porch. What do you think? So these little pumpkins, 2 are a little larger and 2 are small. These were from Walmart, and I'm just going to take these and some of the grasses we have, and I'm going to just decorate the beds. I'm going to ask for Paul's help with that, and we're going to just kind of just do a quick little decoration. I'm not getting crazy with a bunch of pumpkins. Maybe next year I will if I grow them, but having to buy them, these weren't too bad. Each large one was $4 each, and the small one were $3 each. Honestly, at this point, I think I would have spent the extra $1 and gotten the bigger ones. And they do have some funky, cool looking ones, but they always put them out too early, folks, and it can really rot out when you have weather like we do. And it stayed really hot, and I mean it when I say that just a few days ago it was like 80 degrees. So I did not want to tempt fate. So because of that, by the time we're ready, it's already gone or they're rotting. So we kind of got stuck with the orange ones, but I'm going to try to grow some next year. But this is what we have. I didn't want to go too crazy. Again, I didn't want to do the hay bales or straw bales. So what I'm going to do is decorate with this and some grasses. Let's see what we come up with. So this is very good for the beds anyway, but I had some laying some way, some laying the other way, and it's just to give it a little greenery, but also a little, as they start to dry up, it'll look really nice in fall. So that's just to kind of give it something nice for the pumpkins to lay on. Again, it would have looked really cool with the hay, or the straw bales, but price-wise and not feeling it. So I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna lay some pumpkins, one large and one small in each bed. So there's that. I think what I'm going to do is maybe grab a little bit more grasses, some little bit more greenery to it. But all in all, I really like what's going on here. We have tons of ornamental grasses, so we have some more cut down.
We like to lay these grasses in the bed over winter. It helps the erosion, it helps retain moisture, it keeps the nutrients in the soil. So it's actually decorative and functional as well.
We took our cushions down because we're expecting really heavy rains for quite a few days, so we took that already out. But at one point we'll be outside one of these weeks and we'll show you again, but with the cushions, and we'll show you how the grasses are doing that we put in these beds. Okay, so this could not be any more easy. We have some sticks on the property, and I really loved this kind of curved shape. I thought that would be so cool for the witch's handle, but it wasn't even close to being big enough. And when we had this one, we had found that a long time. We've been using it for a long time. It has like a Y shape at the end. We've been using that for the fire. When we're in the fire pit, we use it to push things around to kind of get it to come together. It was getting kind of old. It's not brittle yet, but it's starting to. So that is going to be our main handle, and even has a Y shape at the end. And then we have this I'm going to tie with, these are all going to be tied with jute. I'm going to tie with jute around here to kind of attach it and make, like, hopefully it looks like the handle's still extended from this. And then these are the small branches, twigs that Paul had cut today. These were caught, this was caught on our walk today. These were after our walk. Here's the twine. Thanks, Paul. And this is what we've had, like I said, we had on hand for a while for our fire pit. But we're going to make these little pieces all come together. The only thing we did have this on hand, the twine. That's the only thing that would normally be purchased, but we had that on hand. But the rest is free stuff, everyone, if you have access to sticks like this. There we go. We're going to start. So I'm going to tie this, want this to stay as best we can, and I want this really cool shape to the top of the handle. So I'm going to start. First I'm going to tie this together so I have a little bit of a foundation here. I'm just going to do a lot of knots so it really holds it together the best it can, just to get it started. I'll worry about the things hanging later, but what I'm going to do is just try to shape it a little. Okay, I think I like it like that. And I'm just going to start, bring this over here. I'm going to start winding it around.
Maybe I can help.
Yeah, that would be great. The key is to just get like as much as you can, and then we'll start going back over certain spots and thickening it, just so we can attach it really good and give it strength. You just want this smaller stick to hang on. I think that's about where we want it. So we're going to go all the way down because we want that covered so you don't see that there are two sticks together, and it's going to give it a lot of strength. And give yourself a break. So here we are at the end. There was a little bit hanging off here. I just trimmed it. And this, we're just going to kind of tuck it in. And I'm going to try to knot from there. I'm going to wind it in again. So I really want to make sure it has strength and it doesn't come apart. And tie a knot again. Few times, just make sure this doesn't come apart easily. Yep, that should be good. Just trim, and we've got your broom handle. I think I like it sideways, and my mistake was I didn't kind of plan that with that, but I think I like it like this. So I'm going to leave it like this, and unfortunately I planned it differently, but I'm going to use that somewhat as a guide, this Y shape. And I'm going to look at how I want it splayed out. You really want these to be somewhat equal length. Some might be a little smaller as you're cutting them. You can always take them out if they're not enough. but I'm going to kind of leave it like this, kind of splayed out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this for a little bit while Paul's starting to wind it around. We're going to do what we did with the handle. We're just going to start it, like wind it around once and knot it quite a few times. This is going to need a lot of strength because these little sticks together may fall off. And I want to make sure, you need two people with this because you want to make sure you're splaying it out like a broom while he's working on tying it and knotting it and winding it, starting to wind it around. It's a little loose, so he's going to wind it around a couple of the sticks and try to tie it there so it doesn't keep moving. Okay, so once you have a good knot, we're going to keep wrapping it around as tight as possible. And we had like half a spool of this jute. And we're using all of it, I think, for this project. We may tap into another spool, just so you know, but we started out with a half a spool here. Now some of the sticks are a little longer, so we're gonna go all the way to the end so you don't really see the sticks, and the more strength you give it, the better. So our Harry Potter style broom, we're so excited. Look how cute this is. It probably could use some more sticks if we wanted to. I may, in the weeks ahead, may throw some more sticks in there. But with the handle and the stick itself and the, what do you call these? the
brush part of the broom?
The brush part of the broom. There we go. It's all sticks, but look how cool. It literally reminds me of Harry Potter. When it was finished, my husband decided to hop on it and pretend to go away, and I think it's hysterical because it looks like such a really cool witch's broom. So now we're going to go place it. So these were the little pumpkins from our garden when we harvested. That's what was left. And I wanted to show when we had done the stone, I really wanted to show you because it did start to come off a little bit, so I'm going to touch those up and then I'm going to seal it. We should have sealed it before, but we were working on a time constraint. And then we'll show you how the mat turns out over this mat. It's going to be a double layer. And there's the finished broom. How cute is that?